are live. Welcome to my video. This is going to be my thoughts on The Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 15, This Sorrowful Life. The episode is rated TVMA, so will this video be, and like all other episodes I've done, all other videos I've done on this show, there will be spoilers for the episode itself as well as every episode leading up to it, all of which I love. Let's dive right in. So I assume that the title refers to the fact that Merle is no longer on the show. I'm really gonna miss him. You know, even if the governor certainly didn't. I'm still invested. You know, I care about every character that has had enough screen time that I could, you know, write a short description of them that wouldn't just be like what they look like and maybe their name. Yeah, so much to love in this episode. I really appreciated Merle pointing out, you know, how is Rick any different from the governor if he's sending Merle to, you know, yeah, take Michonne to the governor, you know, like with Glenn and Maggie. So yeah, and you know, Merle realizing that Rick is going to end up changing his mind, and he did a really good job hiding. Like, yeah, you know, when he said he was looking for drugs, when he said it to Daryl, you know, yeah, we bought it, Daryl bought it, and and he was looking earlier when he was going through the mattresses. So yeah, it seemed like, okay, I guess that just is the, yeah. And yeah, you know, the conversation between Daryl and Merle was also quite strong, you know, and you know, in retrospect, it's clear, at least my interpretation, Merle was doing tough love and saying, be better than me. You know, don't make the same kinds of mistakes that I've made. You know, so yeah, very, very nicely done on that. I think that does get us to, yeah, I quite like the thing about, you know, oh, the you know, that plan worked, you know, it worked really well to lure the walkers and the whole thing with the car. You know, I just want there to be an outtake where Rick like complains about it, and like, you know, Maggie says, so you can call audibles in the field all day long, but we're not allowed to execute a plan. But yeah, the fact that it was Michonne's idea, you know, and Daryl gives Rick a look like, you know, you get that this is, you know, do you understand the gravity of this? And, you know, Herschel trying to talk Rick out of it after sitting and I forget, is that technically praying? He's like reading from the Bible, quoting the Bible. It's been so long since I used to be, you know, not a Christian, but, you know enough about this stuff to do a decent job debating a conservative Christian, but it's been so long since my hardcore anti-theist days, so I don't offhand remember. But certainly it's, you know, it's a sweet moment between the family, and I love that they immediately pick up on it. You know, it's like, are you okay, Daddy? And, you know, yeah, he goes over to Rick, and just, yeah, really, really great. I think that might more or less bring us to, yeah, so the whole thing with, yeah, Merle manages to lure, you know, because Michonne at this point does trust that he is part of, right, actually, before I talk too much about that, I did quite like the, yeah, Merle and Carol. You know, the thing, just, you can go to hell, you know. Just, yeah, and you know, the thing about, oh, you were scared of your own shadow. No, that was my husband's shadow, you know, just, And the thing, oh, late bloomer. Maybe you are too. Yeah, just she's not afraid of him. She's not gonna bite her tongue around him. So that's, yeah. And yeah. She is founder and president of the Daryl Dixon fan club, but also the No Merles fan club. Shit. Yeah. So, yeah, that was. I really appreciate her just because yeah, she points out. So, you're gonna stay, or because it is this thing of like, well, right now you are eating the food, you are a potential threat to us. If you're not going to stay, yeah. And so yeah, he lures Michonne, and she does say the governor is not really the subtle type, but at the same time, yeah, a secret, yeah, a path into the prison that they haven't taken care of could be very dangerous. And I do appreciate, I would have really found it frustrating if she just accepted, like, at first I wasn't sure if he was going to be killing walkers in that hallway as well, but if he didn't, there's no way she would have fallen for it. She would have been like, why is he getting behind me? Why isn't he participating in the, so he does take out at least one and then knock her out and then kill some. Yeah, the car ride, her pointing out, just, yeah, and for some of it, she's like, he's going to take me to the governor. I'm not coming back from that. I have nothing to lose. So she says some very harsh things to him. That was, yeah. And then later, she's like, it's not too late, it's not your fault. We can, we can just turn around. And he stops the car and lets her go. And, I really appreciate that at the end of the day, he was willing to listen, because it is true, he doesn't think that he could have gone back, but certainly it is true that he doesn't have to deliver her, But yeah, them stopping over and the, stealing the car, very clever. For a while it looks like, oh, this is gonna work out well, and then the fucking car alarm, and he has to turn it off because it's not beneficial for them for it to be doing the car alarm the whole way, but that also, while he's working on that, it attracts some, and Michonne proves that, like, regardless of the situation, she's a badass. She managed to take out, like, okay, so one of them, she, like, kicks and then, like, stomps the skull. And then another, she, like, fiber wires the head clean off. Like, it's fucking Byzantium. Just, Jesus Christ. Awesome. And yeah, he manages to turn off the alarm. And then the big fucking guy comes up, Did I see that right? Were there, like, worms eating his stomach, like, starting to spill out as he walked out? Holy crap. They keep coming up with really memorable walker designs. And, yeah, he manages to take it out. I really loved the thing about, I thought you would try to run. Not until I get my sword back. Just, yeah, that's, wow. And yeah, seeing Merle walk around, I realize he only has the one hand, but he is carrying both a handgun and this, like, I want to say samurai sword, katana. I'm pretty sure it's, which just makes me really hope that eventually we will see the release of Red Steel 3, Oops, All Zombies. I know, technically not the only game where someone dual wields, well, I guess not dual wield, since that would mean it was two of the same, but yeah. Gun in one hand, sword in the other. It's the first thing I think of. I really love that second game, and the first had its moments. It was like a launch title, you know, a lot of launch titles aren't as good as the ones that come later. Anyway, yeah, genuinely clever. Right, before I get to the genuinely clever plan, I did also like, you know, he finally got the liquor. He was, you know, for a while, he's like, you know, is there any, like, whiskey or even vodka? Listen, people, all I wanted was a stinking 45, the record or the gun. Hell, at this point, I'd settle for the malt liquor. But yeah, he finally got some, and he ladled some up to the glass, to the mouth of one of them. That was great. And yeah, you know, no wonder he had to drink, you know, some what's it called, liquid courage. And yeah, you know, radio at a loud volume, drives in, jumps out the car, it attracts a bunch of walkers, and he just has to, like, wound these guys to be able to, you know, because yeah, as once, you know, they're wounded, they're easy, you know, they're walker food. And he comes so close. I mean, in a way, I really like, you know, I like watching the governor. Obviously, I, you know, think he's despicable, but I do, and I feel like, I don't know, on the one hand, certainly Merle has reason to hate him enough to kill him, but I do also, I hope for at least one more confrontation. And I feel like this, like, by the end of this episode, yeah, the governor's probably going to think, oh, this was Rick's doing, you know, and failing that, certainly, you know, Merle was with Rick, so, you know, he might hold him responsible, even if it's, yeah. And he did shoot, you know, the guy who was with Alan the Tool, Ben, I think, is his name. Yeah, just, and apparently originally, it was just supposed to be the governor winning a fight against Merle, and, like, let's see, I have it right here. Yeah, Michael Rooker said Merle could beat the governor in a fight. Absolutely agreed. So, yeah, hence why it's other, you know, some of the governor's men who beat him before he fights one-on-one. And apparently Merle's final words and the governor's response were ad-libbed by the actors, and Michael Rooker has stated that the final words, "I ain't gonna beg, I ain't begging you," were in fact addressed to God and not the governor. So yeah. Let's see. Right, and apparently it was also his first, it's a callback to his first encounter with Rick in season 1. Yeah, that was another great action scene. Just him, you know, just wounding these guys and then moving on, and yeah. And he got so close. Like, he took the shot, but then Ben got in the way. Yeah. Let's see. And that is, of course, you know, that is the risk you run when you set up a meeting at a specific spot at a specific time. Yeah, technically the other side might attack instead of, you know, showing up. And I am fairly confident there's, like, historical, you know, there have been times in history where, you know, yeah, some of you, I mean us, human beings, have actually, you know, attacked of a supposed peaceful meeting like that. So yeah, very nicely done. And really, really sweet. Glenn, you know, he gets Herschel's blessing and thanks Herschel, and Herschel, you know, smiling, and because of the bushy beard, we can only really tell by the, you know, the movement of the mustache, part of the beard, but yeah, you know, genuinely sweet that he, yeah, and he goes and gives her the ring. I was wondering if he was going to get down on one knee, but you know, she was still receptive to it. She still said yes. And yeah, you know, that biter bit. I mean, Walker walked right into Berta's neighborhood, R.I.P., and ended up with the nickname Stumpy.